Destiny 2 is a massive game, and as an action MMORPG, you're going to find some things fun and exciting and other things a massive grind, and it's really up to you to engage with what you want. And that's what this guide is here to hopefully help you out with that. Whether you're a brand new player coming into New Light, or you're a returning player like me who has ended up taking a lot of time off the game, and you're just wondering, where should I start? What do I need to know? What should I be doing? How can I power level? What are all these weapons? What is all this armor stuff? Help. That's what this guide's going to be here for. Now, if you're evaluating if you should jump into this game and using this guide as a way of doing that, just to remind you guys that this game is free to start. You can go download it right now. You can go check it out for yourselves. It's on Steam, PC, and PlayStation, and hopefully we'll soon get crossplay. But there is cross save, so you can actually jump between the different systems very easily, and we have a guide on the channel for cross save if you need to figure out how to set that up on your character. Now, I am still working on my massive guide talking about the subclasses for the Warlock, the Hunter, and the Titan, so please keep an eye out on the channel for that. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, leave us a comment, let us know what you are struggling with, and we'll hopefully try to make guides that really kind of help your overall experience with Destiny. And I'm loving this game, but at the same time, you never really know, so just always jump in, play what you love with the people you love, and don't worry too much about it. But there's a lot to cover. This is a massive game, and many people feel like they're drinking from a fire hose right now, especially if they're Destiny 1 veterans or something like that, and they're coming in, they're trying to figure out what it is that they need to know when playing this game. As an aside, because I have been spending some time with the different classes trying to work on that guide, and it ended up just being too massive for this one video, and I really wanted to make sure that I give it everything I've got and that I give you all the information that you need to know. Just note that if you're starting out with New Light, your subclasses are all there. They're all unlocked for you. You're going to have your top and your bottom tier, and based off the class, Titan, Hunter, or Warlock, you're going to see a top or bottom. Your middle is going to be locked to Forsaken and for Shadowkeep. So if you buy Forsaken or buy Shadowkeep, that's what's going to get you this middle tier, which is going to augment your super and more. So anyway, keep an eye out for the guide where we go in depth into the classes. But for now, let's talk about the content. What you should be doing. What are all these guns? What are all these weapons? How can we help you? So first of all, I'm going to say your director is going to be your big help. Holding the select button, essentially aka the back button, will by default bring you up to your map. I'm in here in the tower and I can see various people that I need to talk to. If it's glowing, it means I need to pay some kind of attention to it. They've got some kind of news for me. They've got an update for me. And that's going to be how you can kind of navigate the tower. You're going to see these different waymarks. This is going to allow you to travel to and from within the map, within the zone. You're going to be able to do that. When you go to destinations, this is going to be the various zones and how you hop from zone to zone. They're communicating something to you as well. You can see various quests that you have that are being tracked and saying, hey, you want to go here. Right now I'm tracking a quest on the moon, so it's telling me I need to go to the moon. You can see other information here saying the tower's got 3 people that I need to talk with, and there's other people and other things that'll be going on as well. The Earth is the European Dead Zone. That's one massive zone that you can go to, and then you have your Crucible, your Gambit, and your Vanguard. But let's go ahead and just take a look here at the European Dead Zone. There's going to be a lot of icons that are going to be listed here for you. You can see the farm. This is kind of the social place that started off with Destiny 2. You can see various different adventures. These are like little mini quests, and they reward various things. You'll see what rewards they show in the menu. You can press A on any of these and they're going to become a waypoint, and you can see now it's kind of glowing and it's tracked, and it's also going to highlight the waypoint that is closest to it, so you want to try to like, hey, I want to go ahead and jump in here. You can see public events. You can see when the public event starts, how long it's been going, and you can even track that as well. Some quests, some things you're going to have to do in this game are going to drive you into public quests, and they can be a lot of fun. There's a thing called a heroic version, and we'll try to dive into more of that maybe in another video if you need. Various public events have triggers that turn them heroic, and sometimes you're going to need to be doing heroic events, and heroic makes it obviously better rewards. Here is, you can see an actual quest. This quest is called Enhance. You can see other adventures, and you can see individuals that you want to talk with. Why all this is important is that as you do activities in these different zones, you're going to get basically a zone currency which you can use to upgrade. And if you store up enough of these currencies, if you're a player who is coming back to the game and you're just sitting on piles of these currencies, you can use those to really easily boost yourself up to the soft cap of 900. Why is it a soft cap of 900? Great question. At level 7, as a part of the season, you're going to unlock the season artifact. This is an unlimited cap. You can put as much XP into your artifact as you want and gain as much power as you want for that season. It's an interesting way of rewarding players who play a lot, and it's also an interesting way to make sure that Season 2, Season 3, or actually Season 9, 10, and 11 aren't just blown out of the water by somebody who just grinds a billion levels in Season 1. It's an interesting concept. We're going to ultimately see how long it lasts. But let's go back to the director, shall we, and our destinations. So we're going to go ahead and pick on, let's say, Mars in this case. Now, if you're on New Light, you're going to have to get experience to unlock Mars. You're going to have to like level up, and eventually it's going to be unlocked. But once you do, you can see that, hey, I've got a quest, and it's telling me that I probably should go do that quest. It's got strikes here. You can see this, that you can launch individual strikes. Why this is important and where the difference becomes with New Light is that New Light, you can only launch Year 1 strikes on their own. However, if you do own Year 2, Year 3, Forsaken, Shadowkeep, you can individually kick those off if you want to specifically target that strike. But if you go into the strike playlist, you can see here, you got your Nightfall, you've got your strikes. This is just going to put you into anything. You could get Shadowkeep, Forsaken strikes. You don't need to own them. You're going to have those here as well. And you have a daily heroic story mission. This is going to take kind of the main story missions and increase their difficulty. And then over here on the right hand side, you have the Nightfall. And then right here, you have a guided game. This is a way that you can kind of get paired up with other people who are going to kind of Sherpa you through the content. So just keep in mind, take a look at that if you're like looking for people to play with, and maybe you don't have your own fire team ready to kind of jump into that content and play around with it. The other thing, new or returning player, this is what you need to know. These are your quests. You can track them by pressing A, and you can, and this is going to tell you how you're progressing. You can always see how you're progressing in the various content. The other way that you're going to level up really fast in this game is making sure you're getting those bounties. You can see that I've completed this bounty. I'm going to press A. I'm going to claim the rewards, and my XP for the season goes up, and I get some various currencies as well. It is important to note that these are going to be time tracked. So this, in this case, is expired, so I can abandon it, and more. So just keep that in mind. You don't, you can only have up to so many bounties, but it is really important that you do these things because that's going to feed you that currency like we talked about earlier for turn-ins, and that's going to help boost your level as well. So this is your quest page. You're going to fill this up with lots of quests, and you can actually sort it by rarity as well as by how and where you've received these. This just gives you lots of things to do in the game. So again, you're that new returning player, you're drinking from a fire hose, you're like, what should I be working on? Honestly, the game should be kind of prioritized in one of two ways. Work on the MSQ, essentially the main story quest. That's going to take you through the story of the content that's going to feed you gear and more. Why is it going to feed you gear? Well, that's what the game does. Your gear here, you can see this is 855, this is 840. If I go and equip, this is at 750, you can see my power level being reduced. The game will actually take into account all that you have. It doesn't have to be equipped. Even though what's equipped right now puts me at an 825 power level, it's still, from a rolling perspective, gear is going to drop up higher and higher and higher until you get to the soft cap, which is currently 900. So again, if I go back to the 855, now I'm at 338, and that is that piece of gear. There are a lot of different weapon types, from hand cannons, auto rifles, bow and arrows, shotguns, and more. If you guys want, we'll try to do something. There's like when we say there's a lot of different weapons, just jump into your collection and jump into your weapons, and you can see various weapons here that you can start to kind of attack for. You can see your primary, your special, and your heavy weapons. If we stick with primary, you've got auto rifles, scout rifles, pulse rifles, hand cannons, submachine guns, sidearms, and bows. And you can see where they all are and what you've acquired. And if you need to reacquire them, go for it. But do note that it will not let you reacquire randomized gear. And if you can reacquire it, it's going to give you basically the purchase price for reacquiring that option. If you have not found it yet, and if it has not dropped for you, just note that you're going to have to figure out what to do. And some of these things are locked behind those adventures and those quests and even more. Some of them are going to be locked behind some crazy grinds because this is an MMO. So then you have your shotguns, your grenade launchers, your fusion rifles, and your sniper rifles. Those are going to be what make up your specials. And then your heavy, you have swords, grenade launcher, rocket launchers, linear fusion rifles, and machine guns. You can see here that I have yet to collect a machine gun. So we'll try to do a deeper dive into the weapons kind of in some test labs for you guys to give you more information about what they do and how they behave and more. So that's essentially just a brief touching on all the different weapon types that you can have. And there's still more to it. I almost feel like saying, but wait, there's more. Let's go ahead and take a look at this hand cannon. You can press Y triangle on these different weapons, and you're going to see various different weapon perks and things that you can kind of play around with. Different weapons are going to behave differently. So check out each individual weapon's perks and play around with them yourself to see what gives you the best look and feel for it. But let's talk about, we have a couple of different things. You have a concept of infusion. Infusion is going to allow you to take previous gear and make it better. So let's say this weapon, or let's pick on a different weapon just, I guess, for case and purpose. This is 750. We're going to press Y on it, and we're going to go to infuse. Now, if I wanted to, I could take that hand cannon, I could take that pulse rifle, I could take that scout rifle, and I can turn it, and I can upgrade it if I have the required materials. In this case, it requires an upgrade module. I've got 5. It needs 1. I can hold down X, and I can infuse this bow and make it more powerful. So now it's no longer a 750 bow. It is now an 851 bow and arrow, and that's how you infuse it. So somebody was asking, like, should I get rid of my exotics? Should I get rid of these weapons? I say absolutely not. In fact, you're going to get those drops, and you might find something you like more. But let's say I don't like this hand cannon. Let me go ahead and just say bye-bye. And now my my exotic is now more powerful than before. So that's why you want to hold on to your exotics. You can even do something. You can press down on the right stick whenever you're in. It's going to turn this little symbol into a lock symbol, and you can press it again to unlock it. But this is going to prevent you from accidentally doing something with it that you don't want. You can always customize it as well with various ornaments and more by pressing down within the menu. But again, our exotics are pretty locked to what they can do, but newer roles, newer weapons, if they've updated it with new expansions, you're probably going to want to take the new one that drops rather than the one you've been holding on to. And nothing is more apparent than that than Armor 2.0. Armor 2.0 here is going to allow you, if I press Y on this gauntlet, I can see here's the armor tier 2.0, and here's the various materials I need to upgrade it. Why would I want to upgrade it? Because right now it starts off with 5 energy. I'm currently using 4 energy, and I can only have 1 more slot. But I don't have anything that will take 1 from the mods that I've collected so far. I can lower this down and just drop them in here and put in like a 1 mod right there, and then I can come in here. Well, no, I can't do that on this one. Let me unequip the mod. Let me go here and let me equip this mod, and now I'm taking up 5 energy. Again, I can go and upgrade it to 10, and if I do fully upgrade the piece of gear, it becomes a masterwork piece of gear, but it's going to require more materials to upgrade that individual piece of weapon. So play around with it. The beautiful thing about mods is that as you unlock them, you're not going to have to sit here and unlock them again. These are no longer consumable, and the price of the mod is in the corner in which that it's displayed. So if I unclip that mod and I come back to here, I can see this is going to cost 4, this is going to cost 3, these are going to cost 1, and I have 2 slots for the various mods here. Different gear will act accordingly. Now, why again is this important? Let's say the Starfire Protocol, which gives me that extra fusion grenade, which can be very handy to be able to play the game and have 2 grenades and have it maxes, for you all at once. And anyway, I love it. But if I click on Y, it doesn't have Armor 2.0. Now I can infuse it and make it stronger. I can do, you can see kind of the mod that's listed here, but I don't have, and that's the old mod system, I don't have the upgrade system. So as soon as I'm able to get a new Starfire Protocol that's going to be Armor 2.0, then I can start playing around with that. So ultimately, I'm going to wait until I get a new one. Then I'm just going to get rid of it and go from there. All the new gear that's dropping should be the 2.0 armor gear. Your gear that you've had, even if you're a returning player and you did play Destiny 2 right at the very beginning, it's not going to automatically upgrade to 2.0 armor. Just go out and farm, go out and fight, go out and do quests, and you're going to get that content. Now let's talk about power leveling. So whether you're new or you're returning, doing content is going to feed you all different kinds of currencies, and you're going to see that here. Like if I go talk to the weaponsmith, he is looking for materials. I get the gunsmith materials by breaking down armor and weapons, and that's going to feed me that kind of material. I can hold A, and it's going to level me up with his reputation, and every time I hit a level, I'm going to get a new engram. I can claim it, and then it's going to give me, in this case, a weapon, and I can keep doing this over and over again. And you can see here 863, and I get a new kinetic weapon. And I keep doing that over and over and over again. If you go take a look at those weapons, you can see they're actually rolling it pretty strong. So that is an auto rifle at 863 power, which is more than I had. So now I'm at 839. And you can kind of tell where things are coming in by the little glowiness of, of that. So I can see here, and I've got some new gear in 863. I'm going to pop that on and go from there. Now, once you've equipped new gear, you're going to want to go in and play around with its mods and more. So let me find a mod. Let's say here, increases my class ability regeneration speed. Yes, please. And that. Now, personally, what I'm doing is I'm waiting until I kind of really get a feel. Once I get kind of to that power level 900 and more, I'm not going to worry about personally upgrading and messing around with blues. I'm going to wait till there are purples to be able to be used at that time and make progress that way. But you can see here as I break down weapons, I get glimmer and I get those gunsmith materials, which I can use the gunsmith. Doing PvE, PvP, you can also get those currencies as well. So if I do PvP, I can go talk to Shax here. And again, he's going to ask for those currencies, of which right now I have 298. So I could just keep using those and boom, another 863. And I also got a mod from that. So let me just keep doing that. Boom, 863. This is actually getting really exciting. Ooh, lots of purple stuff today. This was not expected, but this is a little bit there. So Better Devil's hand cannon, perfect. I actually kind of really like that, enjoy that hand cannon. And I can see that I can keep doing this, and I'm turning in 10 at a time. How do you get these? You play PvP, you also complete your your bounties and more. I'm gonna go and just grab these bounties while I'm here. Thanks for your patience. All right, let's go ahead and talk. Let's go over here to the PvE. Let's go talk to Zavala. By running strikes and doing various different Vanguard activities, you're going to get your Vanguard tokens, in which I have 149 because I've been just stocking up on them. And again, I can do this, and you can see here 864 and more. So now I have a new helmet, I've got new gear, and that's just going to be one easy way that you can keep collecting more and more gear. So that's a nice little power level boost. Let me go from there, and I just keep rinsing and repeating this activity as a very easy and powerful way to get up to that power level 900 and beyond. Again, as you level, you're going to feed XP to your Gatelord's Eye. As you level, you're going to be feeding XP to your rank and more, and that's kind of the last bit of this from a leveling and a tips perspective. Hopefully this has answered some of your questions, but as you level, you're going to keep unlocking more and more content as a part of the season. Now there are 100 levels, and you can see here it ends in 67 days. So ultimately we are going to be testing out, is this possible for somebody who is just casually playing? They talked about as it gets towards the end of it, bringing in an ability to catch up. I don't know if that ability to catch up is going to require the good old hard-earned money that you and I earn by going to our jobs, but we're just going to have to leave it at that. So in this video, we touched on the classes, we touched on the tiers briefly, and I do apologize. I want to make sure I get you that in-depth guide to each of these classes. It's just going to require a little bit more work, so that way I get you all the good and visual information. I was filming it for a while, and I was like, okay, maybe that's going to roll out this weekend when I can make sure that I can do the quality job that I want to do. But anyway, we did talk about weapon types. We talked about the mod system. We talked about how to upgrade. We talked about how to power level and more. And we talked about content that you need to be focusing in on. And hopefully that is going to help make your return to Destiny a little bit easier and less intimidating. Guys, if you have any questions in the comments, leave them in the comments below. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button, share it out with your friends, and hit that subscribe button and join the workforce here at Work to Game. That's what it's all about. So hopefully some of this has been a help. And I look forward to seeing you. For Work to Game, my name is Brian. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you next time. Take care.